Hey bass players, it's Miss Fatides. In this video I'm going to show you how to produce a good tone with your bow with some exercises and techniques designed to get you to move your bow arm freely and produce a beautiful tone. When you are bowing on the bass, bow arm weight is really important. The strings of the bass are very thick, so to produce a good sound on them, you need to have a very heavy, relaxed bow arm. A lot of students will think that they have to force a sound by pushing into the string. You don't actually need to do that. If you want to produce a good sound, all you need to do is relax your arm into the string and into the bow hair. And you can test this by setting your bow on the string and then relaxing your hand. When you relax your hand and your arm and make them as heavy and relaxed as possible, you should see the stick of the bow start to push towards the hair, and you'll feel the hair grip the string. As you can see, I'm wiggling my bow back and forth, and I don't really move it too much. That's because the weight of my arm has pushed into the bow, which has caused the rosin that's in the hair to activate and stick to the string. Now when I pull my arm, I have all of that arm weight ready to go, and I use that arm weight to create momentum with my bow arm and produce a good vibration on each of my strings. So, the hardest of these strings to achieve this is your E string because it's the thickest and the lowest. So you really, if you're practicing getting a sound on the E string, you really want to just really relax that arm, make it as heavy as possible. You do need to put a little bit of force from your shoulder into the bow arm, but not too much. You don't want to press. You don't want... You hear how terrible that sounds? It's because that's not right. You want to relax your arm into the stick of the bow, feel the hair engage on the string, and you can feel this by wiggling the bow back and forth. If it doesn't wiggle, that means that you have the right amount of weight on the bow and it's activated the rosin and is causing it to stick to the string. So when you pull it, you get this nice, deep, rich sound. All right, and that's just some basics on how to get a good sound with the bow playing your bass. When you're bowing, you want to make sure that you place your bow perpendicular to the strings. So in a nice straight line. And I place my bow about an inch and a half away from the end of the fingerboard. You actually don't want it too close to the bridge, and you don't want it in the middle. You want it about an inch from the bottom of the fingerboard. And when I pull my bow across, I move from my shoulder, and that produces a nice straight bow. Here's another angle of me moving my bow arm. So you can see, I'm moving from the shoulder. The elbow moves slightly, but most of the work is done from the shoulder. And it's keeping my bow in a straight line the entire time. So a good thing to practice before you play any songs is simply playing each of your open strings. And we can do that together now, actually. Let's start with our A string. We're going to bow our A string 4 times, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you try that with me now. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do the same on our D string. So move your bow to the D string. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the G string 4 times. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And lastly, let's play our E. Now E being the thickest string, we're going to need to use the most arm weight. So sink your arm into the stick of the bow, Feel that bow hair stick into the string and sink there, and then pull 4 times. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. That's a great way to warm up your bow arm even before you begin playing anything.